you wanted to learn how to fish on the Eastern Shore and you were a kid, this is probably one of the first places because you were guaranteed you come down here, you catch. I mean, really, you catch some. We'd fill 5-gallon buckets full of herring.
Oh yes, easy. Say we used to fill up 5-gallon buckets with herring.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was nothing to catch a 5-gallon bucket of herring in an hour, hour and a half maybe.
My father would drive through with an oil truck and drop me off with a rod and a bucket. He'd go make home deliveries, and when he'd drive back through, I could load it all up because my mom loved the herring reel.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Well, it's my hobby.
So how long have you been doing that?
Oh, over 50 years. Yeah. Yeah. Different sizes.
And you make them all yourself?
Yes, sir. I enjoy making them. Do that in the winter time when it's too cold to do anything else. But like I say, it's just a hobby, you know. I enjoy doing it, so. Yeah, 'cause like I said, I've had good luck with the green, with the orange hair. I've had good luck with them. So.
It melts his own lid and everything.
Oh, yeah.
The little oven he puts in there.
Got him. All right. Got one. Oh, he broke you off?
Yeah, it was a shad.
There we go. I got perch. Nice.
I come down, he said, well, why don't you fish for a little bit? I said, sure, why not? And I come down and I made the first cast, brought it in, made the second cast, I hooked something. I looked down, I said, rockfish. And 26-inch rockfish on the second cast. Right here. And then I came back the following week, made 2 casts and caught one that was 24.
Well, my father, I've heard this, I go down to Florida and drive him up just about every year from Florida. And he tells the story before the bridge was here. He was a child. And him and a man were going across, it was a ditch back then. It weren't the river that it is now, it was a lot shallower. And they were crossing it with an oxen team. And the oxen stopped in the middle of the river. Well, my dad was scared. He was a boy, young man. And the man he climbed out on that oxen's head and shoved his head under the water. And Dad was counting you like 7, 8, 9, you know, and he still got his head of this. He says that oxen's head just started shaking, and when he let it up, it blew 2 shoots of water out of each nostril, and the oxen started walking. And I've heard that story 100 times from down here.
There you go, that's a good one.
Nice. All right, get your thinking cap on, Noah.
That may be an American.
That's what I was thinking.
What is it you do?
I'm a fish biology professor at Salisbury University.
Okay, what's the difference between an American and a hickory?
The spot. So we got a migratory shad species here in the river. We got hickory shad and American shad. We've been seeing a little of both today. And these shad are what's known as an anadromous fish. Anadromous fish means that they spawn in fresh water, and then their eggs get washed out to the ocean where they grow bigger till they get full size. Then they migrate usually to the same rivers that they hatched out of and come back to that same river to spawn. So they live freshwater, start their life in freshwater, go out to the ocean most of their life, and then only come back to spawn in freshwater. Now, because they're so predictable, the way that they move in and out of the rivers, it allows them to be really easily targeted, where decades and even centuries ago, people would just put out nets for them when they're migrating, scoop up the entire population all at once, and people mostly eat them for their roe, their eggs. They're really delicious. Some people would eat them too. Actually, the scientific name for American shad is Alosa sapidissima, which sapidissima pretty much translates directly to delicious. So people used to like them. They're more oily and fishy, but because they're so easy to catch, their populations got decimated and took a really sharp nosedive. But then, after some fishing regulations came in, their populations has slowly been on the rise. However, new invasive species to the Chesapeake Bay, like invasive blue catfish, snakeheads, and flathead catfish, are posing a threat to these. along with other river herring and migratory shad species. We've been, in my lab's research, we've been seeing all these fish in the stomachs of blue catfish in the spring, as well as some in the stomachs of snakeheads. So they're definitely being eaten by these, which is likely not helping with their population.
The old rope swing the kids used to swing off the bridge and jump
yeah.
in the water. And when I came down here as a young man, there was always a bullet rifle on the bridge. There was a 22 rifle.
Somebody just left the rifle.
No, a guy brought it shooting snakes. We shot more snakes down here years ago. Yeah. I mean, you just shot, you know, you seen a snake, you didn't want it in the water with the kids playing and everybody else, because they all say there's no moccasins, there's no water, say a bull. They're here.
Yeah.
Hey, John.
Hey,
Now there's chicken and dogs already ready, and I'm getting ready to pull some burgers off.
I've had them as soon as you cast a dart. It may be in the water 2 seconds. Grab it and he jump out of the water like a tarpon. I've had that happen 2 or 3 times this year. That is great when that happens.
That, and when you know the spawn is going on and you can see the oil in the water going by, you know that, and it's like every other cast, you're catching a fish.
Yeah.
And then you got the kids up here. You hook up a fish and you get that kid here. And just watch that little kid, you know, I mean, that's part of the fun down here. And this is where everybody learned how to fish years ago.